that come up okay?
Yeah.
Excellent. So welcome everyone. You're part of cohorts 3, 4 and 5 of Let's Grow Adventure Tourism. We started this program, where are we? We're in 2021, April. We started this way back in February 2020 and then because of COVID, we had to, as we think we sent an email to you, had to reshape the whole thing and the way it works just because of all of the lockdown restrictions and everything. But we've had some really great participation from about 27 adventure tourism businesses located in Skye, Lochaber and Cairngorms, and we've held a series of workshops, online workshops with them. So what we're going to take you through is a bit of the structure of what we're going to be covering this evening. There'll be an introduction just about who we are. I think it's, you know, you've had emails and everything from us, and a couple of you have met us already on one-to-one chats in the past couple of days. Just give you a program overview of just what the program, what's involved in the program, and some idea of some timelines. We'll then just take about a 10 or a 15-minute. We'll split into 2 breakout rooms, and we'll just allocate people across those rooms, and that's just a chance for you to meet others. You may know some already, you may not. Just a chance to give a maximum of a 1-minute advert on your business, who you are and what you're wanting from it. Anything beyond that, you're out. We'll kick you out, because otherwise we'll draw on. And it's really important that we're finished by 6 o'clock. We don't want to be holding you back. And then we'll just begin to wind up the evening with an overview of the business support that you'll be getting from Fergus and I and our colleagues in the program. And then it's over to yourselves for a few questions and a bit of a questions and answers, and we'll just be closing the workshops from there. But as I said, any questions come up, just use the chat facility or use the wee hand that you can put up on your screen, and Fergus will pick those up. The Let's Grow team, here we are. This is just to prove that we do a bit of outdoor tourism and a bit of activity tourism. That's Anne coming in.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. I'll just go back there. So that's me. I'm on the. Looking at my screen, I'm on the left-hand side. That's a flask of hot chocolate I'm holding. It's not a can of McEwan's export. Just to say that was in fact the last day that Glencoe was open in March 2020. I had a fantastic day, and I was able to send it to a lot of pals in Europe to say, we're still skiing. But then next day they closed down. My background is a hospitality business. I've been a hotel manager in both this country and in the States. I've been running BTS, which is our business, for the past 20 years. And it's something that we're very much a business development company. We're here to try and help businesses grow their business and develop their opportunities. Fergus, do you want to say a bit about yourself?
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I'm Fergus. I've been sort of gainfully employed for the last 30 odd years since I left university. Seems a long time. Spent about 10 years in England in the private sector in manufacturing within the food and drink industry and traditional engineering. Moved back to Scotland. I've had a number of roles within Scottish Enterprise and Highlands and Islands Enterprise and business development roles. And probably in the last 10 years, I've been self-employed and delivering a lot of projects, a lot with Stuart. I'm a co-director of a tourism operation up in Skye. We've been doing that for 7 years. I'm on the board of the OC UK and the Fort William Chamber. And I've got other sort of smaller directorships with tourism businesses. So yeah, that's a wee bit about me. Thank you.
And colleagues that are on the supporting us this program, we partnered with Lochaber Chamber of Commerce in delivery of the program. Fraser is the chief exec, and he's pretty involved in a lot of things, and because, as you'd expect, a chamber on business opportunities, business development, securing new funding for tourism promotion. Fraser also is now chair of this new Highlands Tourism, which is a collaboration of the DMOs that cover all of the Highlands area, and so he's pretty much tied in that just now. And Mark is Fraser's marketing and comms manager within the chamber. So Mark helps us to back up with all our marketing activity and comms messaging, things that we need to put out and stuff that we're putting out. we're very much practitioners. We've run businesses. I've run hotels, 4- and 5-star hotels. So we know what it's about, and we know the challenges of running small businesses where it's, where you're the sole trader, or whether larger businesses, lots of people. We like to try and come from an angle of being very pragmatic and trying to find pragmatic solutions. So we're not doing a top-down approach. We try to look at it bottom up and find it that's there. And actually, all the time, it's about the customer. Our focus has always been market-driven, customer-led. What is it the customer wants? What does the customer want to deliver? The project is being funded by the Northern Innovation Hub through Highlands Islands Enterprise, and our project manager is Seb Shingler, who's very much, he's based in Lochaber, he's based just at Speenbridge, and he's very much into outdoor activities as well. Seb hopefully will join us. He's in another couple of meetings, but he's our main point of contact for us when we're delivering the project. If any of you need an inroad or a contact into Hive for something, then Seb's your man. We'll be able to share his contact details and you can get in touch with him. So he's there as not so much just in the background, but it's there if ever you need something from Hive that you need to get in touch with some people and talk to them about it. The program itself, this is a project timeline. What we want to try and show is that we're with you over the next 18 months, really. In terms of what we're offering. I know there's a sort of a bit of a gap between April and November when we pick up the main thrust of the workshop activity. We made the decision that actually with the lifting of the COVID restrictions, the lockdown restrictions, and with all of this pent up demand that is out there and people are talking about, the last thing you wanted was us coming along and holding workshops in the middle of the summer when you're looking after your customers. And actually the key thing is for you as businesses to get out there and meet your customers, deliver your customers, and generate money back into the business. But so what we've got is in the first step is in April. This is the introduction workshop. We're holding these initial one-to-one sessions with you. That's just to get to know a bit about yourselves, so you can get to know us, and so we can find out what you think your business priorities are in the coming months, so that we can begin to help shape and point in the right direction of where there may be support or what information and advice we can help with you on that. Well, then, as we begin to kick into October and November, we'll kick off with more in-depth one-to-one sessions, and that's where we'll be beginning to do a bit of really asking you the questions about your business, how you are financially in your business, where are your main challenges, what are your opportunities, and how can we help move that forward. We'll start the workshop program, and I'll explain a bit more about the workshop program. That will be commencing in November. As we get into 2022, one of our biggest frustrations, the whole program, is this should have been delivered in situ, in a location, in a venue, so where we can begin to meet people and get the chemistry going and sharing ideas and opportunities. We're not able to do that. We're still not really able to do that. So we will have a residential workshop, which will be over a 24-hour period, and that will be probably into February or March 2022. Then we'll have as in the workshop program, there'll be the final wrap-up workshop, which will be coming into March 22. But then we're there still giving you backup on one-to-one support through April 2022 through to October. So we're there on a journey with you. You know, we're not in a sprint, we're in a marathon, and we want there to actually work with you to understand your business and help you drive it forward and move forward, and especially position and profile adventure tourism and get it more recognition within in the Scottish tourism market. Workshop calendar. It works along the basis of the first series of workshops will be in November, December, January, February. Residential workshop is March. The final workshop is in March 22, as I said. The workshop themes, we've broken them down into themes, and the first theme is about market insights. You've got to know your market. Any business, you've got to know your market, who your market is, where they're coming from. So we'll be taking a view, and we'll be getting speakers coming in, which will be from the adventure Travel and Tour Association. We'll be getting speakers from Wild Scotland. We'll be having Ian Yeoman from Chris Yeoman from Visit Scotland's Insights team to give us the market perspective. And then we'll also be getting your local DMOs to come in and give us an idea and an influence on what each of your what's the position within your neck of the woods and within your destination. We'll also get the consumer perspective. And I don't know if any of you have been following 56-Degree Insights. They're a new Edinburgh-based research company that was set up. The two guys who we've known for a number of years, they've done a lot of consumer research over something like 1,200 consumers in Scotland and England, and getting their views on what the marketplace is like and what the consumers are looking for in Scotland as a destination. So they will be giving us an update on this ongoing research that they've got. We'll also be hearing from, we had for the last cohorts, we had Peter Syme came and gave us his view from an international perspective on what the consumers are thinking, and you know, Peter brought some really quite interesting views and perspectives. We'll send you a link. 56-Degree Insights did some research work for Visit Aberdeenshire on adventure or activity tourism, and they interviewed something like 1,500 consumers in Scotland and England, getting their perceptions on what they thought of Aberdeenshire as an activity tourism destination. But they had to benchmark in that, position that, and they got the view of what is the rest of what's your views of adventure tourism in Scotland. So there's some really good insights into that, and they did some personas on about 8 segments, breaking it down into winter sports, water sports, walking, hiking, climbing, and we'll send you the link to that after this when we do a follow-up email to you. And if you're looking and want to find a bit more about what the consumer thinking is, although it was done specifically for Visit Aberdeenshire, it's got some good informative data there on what the consumer is expecting from adventure tourism in Scotland. Workshop 2 moves on to digital. And we make no apologies for it, our mantra will be digital, digital, digital. That's what the consumer is looking for. That's the way to engage with the consumer. It's the most cost effective. It's the most rapid way that you can get to it. So we'll be having a series of speakers coming in from that. We'll Visit Scotland. They'll be coming in. Their digital team will be coming in. It's about making sure you're discoverable, and they'll talk you through several aspects of that. We've also had, at the last workshop, we had Chris Torres, who is the founder, owner, and started up the tourism marketing agency, which they specialize in digital promotion and marketing for the tourism industry, both in the UK and internationally. They've got a lot of clients internationally. And Chris gave his view about why you need a strategic digital plan, and the steps to go about doing that, what should be done. And also, he believes and says that Facebook campaigns are the most cost-effective way of actually driving business to you and getting conversions. We'll also then have a session on online booking and the pros and cons of that. And then there's also another organisation, collaborative organisation called Travel Tech Scotland. Don't know if any of you come across that. They're bringing together under one umbrella an easy to find routes of all technical travel and hospitality technology solutions, or companies that are providing technology solutions that have an interest in Scotland. Some of them may be based in Scotland, or some of them might actually be based out with Scotland, but see Scotland as a market for them and an opportunity that's there. We'll then also be looking at that in terms of data and data in tourism. We all capture a huge amount of data, whether it's mobile phone numbers, whether it's email addresses, or whatever it is. But how do you really use that data, and how are you maximizing the use of that data to promote your business and generate additional business? So we'll have a couple of speakers coming in on that. And practical, there's a beer tour company in Edinburgh that's set up and is now using data quite effectively to generate business for themselves. The final session in workshop 3 is about the travel trade. And that's beginning to look at further ahead, and when the international visitor begins to come back, the routes to market for the travel trade. And that'll be looking at both the UK for travel business and travel trade business, or intermediaries, as they're called, or international, and looking at the markets and identifying which are the good markets and the right markets, everything that's there. We'll also then be looking at about OTAs and the online travel agents, and what's the benefits of using them, pros and cons of that. And we'll be talking with you about pricing strategy and what you need to do in thinking about pricing strategy, and a word that a lot of people begin to get itchy and titchy and twitchy about is commissions, and commissions to third-party intermediaries. You know, my background in hotels is I've always had to pay commissions. It depends on the level of relationship we have with the tour operator, travel trade, but it's a marketing cost. I don't see it as an expense. I see it when I was running hotels. It's a marketing cost because it's a cost-effective route to market. And then we'll also cover the girl that Yvonne that does this presentation. She was a tour operator. She's from Germany, but has been in Scotland for the past 25, 30 years, and has worked with a number of the tour operators, tour businesses in Scotland. So she knows the way the tour operator thinks and operates. So that's the workshops in terms of the digital workshops, the online workshops that we're running. Workshops 4 and 5 will be combined. That's the residential workshop. So we're looking at that arrival in about 12 o'clock on one day, depart the next day just after lunch. But that's a real chance for where everyone will be able to get to know one another and meet one another and see what opportunities of collaboration that there are. And we'll be looking at things like collaboration, best practice internationally, and there'll be a dinner, and we hope to be able to get a speaker into that. We haven't done that workshop yet, so we're still fleet-footing it. It'll be November for the first set of cohorts before we do that, because of COVID restrictions. We'll also be looking at sustainability and responsible tourism. You'll have seen all the stuff that's come out about Visit Scotland and how they're really beginning the big push on profiling of responsible tourism. It comes down to the fact that the sea and the land is your product, and we've got to make sure that it's maintained and well respected. And there's something quite a few operators are coming out and saying something like Skift, to the research company, and Booking.com. There's now, since COVID, something like 76% of consumers are saying that the environmental and responsible tourism is a key element in making their decisions where they want to go, because everyone wants to get back out into the open countryside, out to a rural environment and away from the cities because they've been locked down. And then workshop 6, the final workshop that we've got there, will be more a catch-all, any things that have come up, any collaborative opportunities, any new products, experiences, or things that we can help you develop coming from there. We'll be looking for some of you to share your experiences of what you've done, how you've developed your business over a period of time. And one of the longer-term ambitions of the programme is to get a good, solid collaborative group, cluster, if you want to call it that word, of adventure tourism operators in the Highlands that can be more collaborative and can leverage more in terms of combined marketing opportunities, activities that's there. So that's the aim that we're looking for to come from that side of things.
Can I just jump in there, Anne? Can you go on to mute if that's possible?
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
So what we're going to do now is, it's now 25 past 5, maybe about, we'll be splitting into about 12 and 12 in the breakout rooms. We'll just randomly allocate you into a breakout room. And that's just the chance to introduce yourself to one another. Just, 30 seconds, a minute, just say who you are, where you're from, what your business is, or anything else you really want to tell anyone. So I'll stop sharing my screen just now. Unless, Fergus, have we get any questions that have come up?
No questions at the moment. They were hanging on your every word.
Oh, I'm sure they were, just like you do all the time. It will come out of the breakout rooms for 5:45, and that just gives us the last few minutes. Maybe make it 5:20, and that gives us the last few minutes just to go over an outline of the business support that we'll be offering, and also then if you've got any questions, things you want to ask us as we go. So here we go. We'll just.
And we'll each be in one of the groups just to facilitate it.
Fergus, I'll put you into group in room 2. Okay.
Okay. So well, since we've done this, what do we do? Just follow the group?
Your name should be there, so I'll put you in there. Or you just click on, yeah, there you go. I'll put you in there.
All right.
Right. Callan, have you not got into a group yet? She has. And Gary, yeah, they're all in there now. I'll move to.
And I knew I'd be back first because Stuart, if you've not worked Stuart out yet, there's a phrase that I use regularly. You can talk for Scotland. So there we go. I'll get that in now before he comes back. We'll just wait a minute or so until the rest of the group come back in, and then we'll finish off with a couple of slides. And just to think about any questions you might have as well, we can catch up them at the end. That'd be brilliant.
While we're just waiting, is it okay if I ask a question to Lindsay and Hugh, if that's okay?
Of course it is.
Absolutely, go ahead.
Hello. So I heard that you two are based in Fort William. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, amazing. It'll be really great if you don't mind, if we could all share some contact details, because it seems like your industry and the area is something that is fairly aligned with ours, and I think that there's definitely ways that we could work together and help each other there. So I just thought I would just be bold and ask the question straight out, if you don't mind.
Yes, absolutely. That's yeah, something that I'm definitely up for. I can't actually see who's speaking right now.
Oh, sorry, Lindsay. It's Dave from Highland Base Camp.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
We're
sort something out there.
Yeah, we'll make sure that we facilitate that link for sure. This you should have all got this document. Now, the reason Lindsay's not on it yet is because the drop form, little form that you filled in this evening or later this afternoon, that's just the thing we've got to do with GDRP. But we'll be reissuing this with everybody's contact details, emails, websites, and a wee bit of information you've completed in the job form. So Dave, you'll be able to pick that up. But obviously, you know, with that information, you'll be able to just make direct contact with people for sure.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Fergus. I didn't get that document either. So if you wouldn't mind popping that across to me, that would be wonderful.
I think your colleagues would have got it for sure. But yeah, we'll make sure that you're on the circulation list. I'll just write that down.
Thank you.
No problem.
Oh, hi, Fergus.
So yeah, I told them I'd be before you. I want to say why.
I told my group that you'd give me a hard time as soon as I come out of the breakout room. So you know, I'm glad we're performing to script.
We're on script.
Yeah,
we're on message.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. I mean, thanks for that. That's just a very brief catch up and getting to know some of you. Fergus and I will be touching base with you in the one-to-one, so we'll come from there. I'm going to go back over into my shared screen again, just to, and Fergus will, I think, be taking you through this wee bit. Yeah, go from here. There you go, Fergus.
Okay. So yeah, in terms of the business support, what we're proposing to do is, obviously, as Stuart alluded to, we're working with you over the next 18 months. But to start that sort of process off, we've got like a wee sort of outline document that we'll send to you. It's called a business improvement plan, business development plan. This is not War and Peace. It's just areas of your business that you know that you need to be thinking about, or areas that you want to focus on. And obviously there's a range of things. If you're starting up, they're going to be different from somebody who's more established and more mature. So we'll be working with you sort of through that process, through the mentoring sessions, but we'll get that out to you. And oh, what's happened there? Yeah, we'll get that out to you. We've got a wee bit of a benchmarking exercise to do, which is one of these sort of public sector sort of scenarios in terms of measuring the performance of programs. So we need to gather some basic information from you. Again, it's to show the sort of, as the businesses are trading in years 2, years 3, in terms of the uplift. Obviously, the COVID scenario has skewed the whole dynamic in terms of, revenue and jobs, but we'll work you with that as well in terms of just gathering that baseline data that we can use to then measure the impact that the program's been having with your businesses. In terms of the one-to-one support, we're very much see us as an additional resource behind the scenes, myself and Stuart, and to a certain extent Mark and Fraser, but more so the two of us. We're here to help you, so our time is your time. We're obviously letting you crack on through the summer to make some money, but when we pick up with you again, obviously we want to work with you through your business priorities. We're here to sort of give you that mentoring and that support to move things forward. And we're doing that at a time that suits you best. But very much think about us as an extra pair of hands to sort of work with you over the next sort of 18 months or so. One of the other things we're doing is an added value. We're partnering with with Visit Scotland, and they're going to carry out a sort of audit of your digital presence. Now, if you're a new company and you're just getting set up and your website's not maybe there yet, obviously we'll time that around making sure that your digital and your social media presence is live. But people with existing presences, it's a fairly basic digital audit, 10 points, but it's proved very informative with the first 27 companies that have been through it, just giving them some pointers and giving them things to work on, which again is improving, because very much the message we're all talking about, all the reports we're reading, it's all about digital awareness and being found on the web and being able to be booked on the web and making it seamless from the consumer's point of view. So we'll be doing that with you as well. In terms of communications, we've got our own website portal that's been set up, and you'll all have access to that. So that's where all the presentations are going to be kept. That's where all the information that we upload and any other news and features. We've tried different groups and it's come back really, rather than using Facebook and LinkedIn, if everybody's okay with it, we're going to set up a WhatsApp group. We've done that with the first cohort. So that's a great way for us to just send information out to you quickly so you can go and look at it. But also I think it will help just facilitate people starting to talk to each other, starting to make messages, and then you have your own conversations offline, which is the sort of thing we've been hoping to do in a real world environment, in a room together. So that's working well with group 1. So we are planning to do that with this group as well, if it is acceptable to that. That's great. Just a few wee things at the end, just to sort of, things really just to look out for. There's been quite a lot of news that's come out recently of a £25 million Visit Scotland fund, where they've been looking to incentivise the market by providing holiday vouchers for social tourism. We're still not sure exactly what that means, but we're still waiting to find out when that comes through. There's going to be an incentive scheme for like days out and doing activities. again, it's very much watch this space, but we're sort of at the forefront of that in terms of getting that messaging. So once we know more about these funding opportunities that are coming out, we'll basically make sure you get them. The types of things that I think it's going to be similar to is the book to eat scheme they had last year, where they were incentivizing people to go into restaurants. It'll be that type of thing. So you might have to register as a participating business. But as I say, once we get more information, we'll obviously share that with you. There's an email coming out to you all probably the next couple of weeks. It's something to do with GDPR and just information and permissions. It's a standard email you're all going to get. If you can just get it and do what you need to do and click it and send it, sign it, I think, and just send it back into the email that it comes from. It should just take you, less than a minute to do. So it's just to forewarn you that that email is on its way. And remember, we're here if you want to touch base with us. By the end of sort of the following week, I think we'll have met you all one-to-one, and we're spending a wee bit of time getting to know you. So don't not use us. We're a phone call away, we're an email away, and we're very much here to sort of engage with you to support you going forward over the next 12 months, 18 months. So is there another slide, Stuart? Was that?
Yeah, I added that in, and just things for you to think about or thinking about doing through the summer as you're going there. Hope is not a strategy. So hoping your consumer is going to come, hoping you're going to get a business is not there. Even more so importance that we were talking about in the breakout is how people are looking to book and they're wanting and they're moving and changing. So having online or information, making sure all your channels are visible to the consumer. The communication is king. Let your consumer know what you're doing. Know that you've got all the safety measures in place, that you've got the green tick of the COVID good to go. Let them know when you're going to be opening. Opening hours. There's such amount of confusion. When some businesses are opening on the 26th of April, some are opening on the 17th of May. Others are not opening until the beginning of June. So the customer's getting quite a confused message, and they want to know what your opening hours, how to pre-book, what toilet facilities and safety measures, things like that in place. It's collaboration, not competition. That's really what it's about. And so, a lot of you know one another. So are there collaborative opportunities to help one another out through the summer? Because it's more about getting people to know about the destination, your area, your part of the world, to give them a reason to visit and then linger longer. We don't want them having to try and get around the North Coast 500 as quick as they can. We want them to be able to take the slow boat approach and take their time to get round there and really enjoy that part of the world. Be brave and get creative. The first cohorts that we've been working with, there's some that has some really great images, and some have got some really great videos. But we actually start talking to them and say, oh no, we don't have that video. So we were talking about Facebook campaigns. They didn't have a good 30-second video of their business that they could actually then pull together and provide a call to action. So as you go through the summer, capture great video and images of your customers having fun, coasteering, paddleboarding, walking, kayaking, whatever it is. It's there for social media. And actually, the consumer likes have a good sense of humor in social media. So if you can add a bit more fun to it, that's great. And the final thing that we want you to think about as you're going through your business and things, and you're operating, you're flat out with all these consumers, what your priority is going to be in 21, 22, tail end of 21 and 22, because that's where we'll be engaging back with you. And what are the other challenges you've got in your business? You want to find a technology solution, because we can actually facilitate discussions and introductions to organizations like Interface that can help you begin to try and find some solutions that are out there. So that's us for tonight. We're finishing just a few minutes ahead of our suggested time. If anyone's got any questions that they want to ask, someone's got a hand up. I can't see. I'm going to stop sharing so I can see who that is. Who's that? Yeah, Dave, you've got a question.
I have, yes. Thank you so much. Just about those Facebook ads that you mentioned again then and at the start. It's great to hear like the success of Facebook ads. But also really interesting to hear that customers clearly are making holiday decisions based on Facebook and Facebook ads. From the industry I came from, Facebook ads weren't relevant. So I'm personally, and we're super keen to learn about some of the data of that. Do you have an article, or do you have some of the data about the Facebook ads and how much a success they were based on what you were referencing?
Yeah, I think I'll make a differentiation here. We're not talking about Facebook ads, because a Facebook ad is a bit like putting an advert in a traditional media, print media. It's there today and it's sort of gone. What we're talking about is the journey that you go on with the consumer, because with Facebook, you'll be able to come very targeted and on Southwest, the home counties that have got an interest in the outdoors, interest in luxury, interest in XYZ or whatever it is. But you're starting the sales in any business. There's a sales pipeline, there's a sales funnel. It's this wide and eventually narrows down. So with Facebook, you're starting a lot of the time with cold contacts. They don't know you, and the likelihood of someone buying something, he's seeing a one-off advert, unless it's a real stonking deal, they're not going to do it. You need to go through a journey with them to take them from, and that's a campaign. So you're re-engaging with them, or you're remarketing to them on an ongoing basis. So you start off with your initial campaign message that goes out, and that's their cold. And then you want them to get to be a wee bit warmer. So you go back to them with something when they've responded to that first campaign message that's gone out. And then you remarket to them again. You're not doing it, immediately, 1, 2, 3. You're doing it spread out over a shorter, slightly longer period of time, week to 10 days or something like that. And then you get them to be warm. And then when they're warm, they begin to like you. And once they like you, that's when you go in to close the deal. That's when you do the call to action. That's when you give them the proposition of something. And so it's taking it much more on a campaign basis as opposed to just a one-off hit advert. Does that make sense?
It does, yes. I'll maybe catch up with you after.
We can catch up with you. Chris Torres goes through it, and he showed real examples of, there was a company, Fraser and Fay, you'll like this. It was a company in Iceland, and there was also a company in Ireland that they do social media campaigns for. And these campaigns were 30-second videos, but part of a series of campaigns. And you were able to then track from the level of inquiries to the business that was converted and actual conversions and turned into actual revenue for the business. So we'll walk you through that as we go.
Just an interesting anecdote to that. I know Corey's just left the room, but when we were talking to him this afternoon, when he's sort of got the client warm and they're sort of swithering about whether they should or they shouldn't, he just sends them a video of them kayaking in Loch Maree, and that's it. The sale is done, because they just go, wow, that's amazing, I want to do that. And price doesn't become a problem. They book. He's just back in here.
Okay, so any other questions? Thanks for your time. And actually, one of the things we'll probably ask you as we go forward, what's the best time for the workshops or the online workshops? Previously, we did them from 2:30 to 4, because the maximum we tend to have is about 90 minutes. We think that's enough time in front of a screen. But we're quite flexible in saying, well, we're quite happy to do them at 5 o'clock through to 6:30 or 5:30 through to 7. But depending on how it fits with your business, we're there to fit around your business needs. Now, obviously, we're not going to be able to accommodate 30, businesses, but we'd like to go with the majority. So if we have a think about that, we'll test that with you and go there. So unless anyone's got any other questions they want to ask, really appreciate your time. We'll catch up with you, some of you, over the next 10 days or so, and just begin to get to know you a bit more. And then we'll also send you a copy of the slides, or we'll give you a link to the slide, because it's probably too big a file to send that's there. Okay. Oh, Angela, have you got a question there? You're on mute. There we go. No, you're still
Oh,
on.
sorry.
Is there
any way we can contact each other? Is the WhatsApp group going to be set up quite soon?
It'll be in 12 months' time. We'll get that set up.
Okay, it's just
No. We'll get that set up this week. If everyone's okay, we might need to come back to you for mobile numbers, just so we've got that. But that's then for you guys to use if everyone's comfortable with that. You've all, and I think I've picked up a few more of you sending in your wee descriptions of yourselves. If you've read them, you'll notice that I haven't done any editing on that at all. What you typed is what's in the document, but that's hopefully gives everyone an understanding of the businesses are participating and joining the program.
I was saying we'll update that document because of some of the drop forms have come in a bit later, so it's not a full picture yet, if you see what I mean.
And Mike, we see that yet about lots of notice redates. Yes, we'll get that, so they're well in advance. We'll be able to get them in the diary. But we record all of the workshops, almost warts and all. Our Fergus and I stuttering and various things and forget to do something. So those are available if you can't make a workshop. We won't hold it against you. You're able to catch up on the recording later, and also the presentations are available, as Fergus said, on the website. Okay, well, I just hope everyone let you get back out and get onto the water or go up a hill or go something. I'll just walk around Edinburgh. I'm okay.
So lovely to see you all. And for those we've not met yet one-to-one, we'll see you soon. I think there's a date in the diary apart from the ones that I spoke to earlier, and I'll get in touch with you to set that up. Lindsay, I'll give you a call. Okay.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Okay.